Okay. Hello, everyone. Oh, my name is Fang Yu. So this is a class for authoritarian politics, and this is an English class. So make sure that you are coming to a right place. Okay. Yeah. So as usual, you can see there are many exchange students, international students. So welcome to this class. I like this size. So last 2 years, I have a size of about 60 or 70 people. So that's too much for me, but I think this size is okay. So today we are going to introduce you about this class. Okay, so firstly, I want to ask you some questions about this class, or why do you take an English class? So it's obvious that for international students, maybe there are limited choices for you. I know that. So, well, hope you can enjoy this. For local students, why do you take an English class? Anyone who wants to share? So I have to apologize that my voice may sound very weird today because I have an allergic, 就是我过敏. Okay, so it may be very, very weird. So anyone who wants to share that, why do you want to take an English class? Because it may take some extra time. Yeah, please.
Okay. Do you want me to stand up? Or?
No, it's okay. Just like up to you.
Great. So my name is Deborah. I'm an international student from France, but I used to live in the US, so it kind of made sense to me to take an English class because part of my education was English-based, and also I don't speak Mandarin.
Okay.
So, yeah. Do you want me to answer the other questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so by the way, because I do some survey in my last couple of class, so sometimes I will translate or summarize my English speaking. So if you don't understand Mandarin, then we'll just skip that, okay? So because, well, it's complicated. I don't like to teach in English because I have to speak very slow, and sometimes for local students, it's very difficult, more difficult for you to understand this content. But it's our national strategy, national policy to promote English class. So I have this one. So sometimes I have to maybe summarize in Mandarin. So just skip that, okay? So maybe you can practice or listen to some of the Mandarin if you like, yeah. Okay? 就是我有的时候会讲一下中文 ，OK？ 那就是为了帮助大家就是理解这些内容。然后其实我不是很喜欢英文课。因为我觉得这样子的话，讲的内容会比较少，然后呢，这个大家吸收上面也会有点困难。Okay, but I really encourage you to speak out. So English proficiency is not my point. I don't care about your English. Even if you have very poor English, it's okay. So I just want to encourage you to speak, to read, and to write. Okay, so don't worry if you speak very poor. On English. My English is not perfect, okay? So the point is that you can and you are willing to speak. That is the point, okay? Especially for the local student. And if you don't understand my speaking or if you don't understand anything I speak, just raise your hand and ask questions, okay? 就是我们台湾学生非常的害怕说英文，因为我们没有那个环境。那这堂课其实有一个目的，就是要鼓励大家多说。So anyone who wants to share that if you have other motivations of learning, of taking this class. We are very shy. We will have a discussion session later, so I will force you to speak, okay? I will force you. So again, it's not the point. If you don't speak very fluent, then it's fine. Okay, 就是如果你讲的不好，或者是你觉得自己讲英文很差，就是文法错误都没有关系。Even me, that I will have a lot of, you can find out a lot of grammar error, grammar mistake, or sometimes I will use wrong words. It's fine, okay, it's fine. So communication is the way that we can understand each other. So some mistake is not the point, okay? I want you to remember this. 就是不要害怕说错，好，不要害怕大家觉得你的英文很差什么的，没有这回事。这堂课其实就是要鼓励大家多读、多看、多听、多讲 ，OK， 就是这样子。 Okay? So, but next question is more important for me and for you. So why are you interested in authoritarian politics? Why is this so important? Because most of us, I believe, live in democracies, right? But why do we have to learn about this topic? What's the difference of democracy and autocracy? Yeah, please.
I feel like it's one of the main things that separates the kind of the different governmental structures that are present today. And I'm from the U.S., and I feel like learning about this is pretty important right now. And I think a lot of like what happens now is determined by what's happened historically in the past. So the more you learn about the past, you can understand where different countries are moving going forward. And it's important to know about that.
Yeah. So which region are you from?
I'm from Boston.
Boston. Okay. Yeah. So
Bro, that was crazy.
how do you think about this? I mean, anyone, when you see this picture, this is from the official side of the White House. Okay, this is not a fake. So this is from the official side. When you see this, what do you think? Yeah.
I mean, I'm not surprised, but
Yeah.
it's like, what's going on? This is crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the founding of the United States was made like against kings.
Yes.
That's the reason why the United States exists. So to see
Yep.
that is not surprising, but it's very, very bizarre and concerning.
But what's the bullshit of Mr. Trump? 52, 51, more than half, right? A majority of people. So what's wrong? Yeah, this is one of the questions we are going to explore. So what is this meaning? I mean, what does it mean? So what is a king? What is a autocracy? What is democracy? So yeah, we can talk about this later. But just want to remind you that we are in a changing world or chaotic world. And there's a fight between democracy and autocracy. Okay, and I mean, the situation is a little bit, I don't know how to describe it, but I'm not very optimistic about this. Yeah. So this is a map. So this is a map of the democracy and autocracy in the world measured by economists. And you can find similar ones like the Freedom House. OK， 这是一张就是全球的民主跟独裁的分布图。那这是由经济学人所测量的。那你可以找到很多其他的这个测量方式，其实大同小异哈。OK, you can see that from a scale of 1 to 9, and 8 and 9 are full democracies. So you can see that most of the countries in the world are not democracy, right? The majority of countries are not democracies. That is not good, right? Okay. Taiwan has a very high evaluation, a very good performance on democracy. 8.99, almost full. I mean, it's out of 9. Okay, so it's a very, very high level of democracy. Okay, for Taiwan. We should be proud of it, and we should protect it. Okay. Yeah. What are there anyone who want to share about your thoughts about this topic? So you can see so far, I sometimes or many times I also stutter. 就是我也常常会吃螺丝。My English is okay, just average, not very good. I mean, average Asian people. So it's fine. So just speak out, okay? Just try your best. Anyone who want to share? 你为什么大家想要来上威权政治的课 ？Any thoughts? Some people can also say that because I need this grade, I need this course. Okay, you know that it is required for in our department that everyone wants to take one English class. That's fine. Okay, you can just it's required. Okay, we can talk about this. Anyone who want to share? Okay, so let's move on. How many people live in a full democracy under this scale? Well, I have an answer sheet here, so I just want to stand here. Yeah, please. What? 8%. Yes, I have an answer. Only 8% of people live in a full democracy. 8%. And how many people live in a flawed democracy? That is a democracy, but it has a lot of flawed institutions. So sometimes the protection of human rights are not enough, or something like that. So answers here about 37. And more than half of people live in a non-democracy. Okay, so we will have a week to discuss about the authoritarian diffusion. Okay, this is Mr. Trump. And if you read some of the papers or reports by Freedom House or other think tanks, you will see a very bad trend on democracy. So global freedom declined for the 17th consecutive year. Okay, so overall, the protection of human rights and personal freedom is in decline. So democracy is in a dangerous crisis. Well, let me talk more about myself to have a self-introduction. Why I care about this topic? So when I was in the graduate school, 12 years ago, okay, in a graduate, 13 years ago. So I started to read and to participate in a lot of social movements that take care of some of the political institution and the social welfare system questions. And then I started to find out that sometimes our government, that time is in the KMT Ma Ying-jeou administration, we find it very interesting that everything is about China. So for example, when people find out that, okay, the economy is not performing very good, then the solution is to open to China, to invest in China. When we find out that, okay, so the tourists, we want to encourage more tourism, then it's China. So we attract more Chinese tourists that time. So everything under Ma Ying-jeou administration is about China. So I started to be very curious about why people in Taiwan are so fascinated about China. Everything is about China. Okay. 就在我研究所的时候，开始注意到说，哎，怎么所有事情都跟中国有关？那时候马英九执政，那 and then I started to explore more on the ideology of KMT, CCP, I mean the Chinese Communist Party, and a lot, and I started to read more about the transitional justice and other related topics, 就是转型正义相关的议题。So I went to the U.S. Michigan State University to study comparative politics. And then I moved to Washington, D.C. and lived there for 6 years. So I experienced the first Trump administration. So I understand that, okay, so that time, it's very often that Mr. Trump have some make a Twitter and Twitter article, then everybody have to back to work. Very crazy time. So I'm very familiar with Mr. Trump, the style of it, yeah. And then I met some friends, and I joined a group called 美国台湾观测站, the U.S. Taiwan Watch. We're starting to explore more on the U.S., China, and Taiwan relations. And my dissertation, or the PhD dissertation, is about authoritarian parties. That is the ruling party in the authoritarian era that long-lived after democratization. 就是我的博士论文是跟威权政党有关。威权政党的意思就是说，在威权政治底下、威权体制底下的那个执政党，然后在民主化之后继续存在，像是国民党这样子。Okay, so after I returned to Taiwan, then I started to write and to do more on podcasts. These are 2 podcasts. So you can see that it's a transitional justice and the U.S.-China-Taiwan relations. And we also have the weekly podcast. So if you want to learn Mandarin, then maybe this is a good source for you. Weekly podcast on the news and to analysis of the international politics. Okay. So I also joined a lot of different civil groups like 台湾经济民主联合. So this is 10 years ago, it's established 10 years after the Sunflower movement. So Sunflower movement is a very big social movement against a trade deal with China. Okay, so 台湾经济民主联合. I also joined Amnesty International, so you can see that I'm very interested in human rights and issues related to democracy and autocracies. And this is a weekly program. So we hold in-person speech and panel every Wednesday. Okay. And another one is 菜市场政治学. So we write some public writings about political science. That is for the general public. So this is, you can see this is the Mandarin version of Monkey Cage. So Monkey Cage is not functioning right now, but we aim to become the Mandarin version of it. Okay. 就是我参加了很多的社团，包括台湾经济民主联合，然后这个是国际特色组织，然后呢这个是周3青年日，好，那就是每个礼拜3有那个讲座，然后菜市场政治学 ，OK。So you can see that I'm very interested in political science and civil groups, and to promote democracy and related issues, because I believe that this is Thomas Piketty, economist, very famous economist from France. Yeah. So from this book, this is a book very thick book, okay, very thick one. In the conclusion, it thinks that he argues that social scientists, like all intellectuals and citizens, ought to participate in public debate. 就是社会科学家就是要去参与到社会的辩论 ，OK？ They cannot be content to invoke grand but abstract principles, such as justice, democracy, and world peace. 就是我们不能够只有去很空泛的谈什么是民主，什么是正义，还有和平。They must make choices and take stands in regard to specific institutions and policies. Okay, so I believe that, especially for social science students and teachers and practitioners, everyone must to participate in the debate and to have some of the political participation, political activists. So this is my belief. So this, you can read this later. So we have to take part in these activities. So So it basically seems that democracy or citizens is not only responsibility is to drop a ballot in the ballot box once every 4 or 5 years. So for a citizen in democracies, we have to do more than just vote. 就是说我们不能只是每4年或是每5年去投一次票，没有这样，就是这样子其实是不够的。Okay, so we have to learn more about these issues. We have to have some participations. And so that we can make our society better. Okay, this is my belief. So this is also part of the reason why I choose democracy and autocracy as my topic. Okay. Well, I think it seems like I spend too much time on this. What time is it now? Oh, it's fine. Okay, so let me introduce this course to you. So this is an English class, English medium instruction class. So by definition, at least 70% of communication should be in English, but that's fine. We are not very strict on this. So if you are going to Danjiang University, they are very strict about this. You cannot speak any Mandarin in the class, okay? You cannot. But this is not the case here. So I just want to create a relaxed environment for you, okay? And it is very good that we have international students here, because maybe different students can just encourage each other to speak, okay? How to face or deal with a foreign language, just practice, and practice. So when I first arrived in the US, my speaking is very poor. So many of the Taiwanese students speaking is very poor because we don't have the environment, but it's fine. So I went to the study center of our school, and also I went to the church. So the church provides foreign students some program of just speak and talk. And that is what my way to practice. And I also encourage you to find out some source for you to listen to it regularly. So for example, when I started to listen to English news since I am in the 3rd year in college. OK， 就是我从大3开始，每天都会听新闻，就是英文的新闻。And you know, when I was in the college, there's no smartphone, there's no podcast. OK, I have to click on the web page of that news and then download the MP3 file to listen to that. OK, but now you have very convenient tools to listen to the English programs. So you just pick one you are interested in and listen to it for about 5 or 10 minutes every day. That is enough. Okay, if you listen to it, and the point is that you regularly listen to it every day, then you will find improvements maybe several months later. 就是要持之以恒的去听。OK， 那我从大3开始听，好，那所以我的听力一直都是不错的，可是我没有时间讲，没有机会讲。好 ，OK。So the object of this course is to identify the key elements of democracy and authoritarian regime. Yeah, even under authoritarian regime, there are different types. So for example, the personalist authoritarian regime, a military personalist regime. And we are going to also find out some of the institutions in authoritarian regime. For example, every autocracy has a parliament or Congress, but it works very differently than in the democracies. 就是说，在威权体制下呢，也会有像国会啊、像选举啊这些机制。那它到底跟民主体制有什么不一样？好，我们就会来看一下。So understand how dictatorship works and to know more about the modern regimes and political actors, especially China. Okay, especially China, because in Taiwan we are in the front line of the Chinese authoritarian diffusion. So we have to learn more about China. So sometimes maybe because this semester we have 2 days off. So maybe we don't have time to talk too much about Russia. So in 2 years ago, when I first have this class, we have a week for Russian, another week for China. But because we have 2 holidays this week, this semester, so maybe we will see. Okay. So the course plan is that each week I will have 1 hour for lecture. Ideally, I only talk for 1 hour, and then the second hour will be group presentation and then Q&A. So that's the ideal plan. And because the size is fine, so maybe, yeah, I like this size. And we have I don't know how many groups we will have because the list is the registration is not finalized yet. So I will see. I will email you later. But we don't have class next week. Okay. So 2 weeks later, I'll email you during this two-week gap. This is the requirement of this course. We have the attendance, participation, so a lot of discussion here. And then a discussion session is in the second half of the semester, we will have 1 class specifically for discussion of a book. So I plan to discuss the book 独裁者联盟, Democracy Inc. Well, tentative. So I will have this detail later. And then group presentation is a weekly. In each week we will have 1 group for the presentation, and then you later turn this presentation into paper, okay? And then we will have a final exam the format will be a closed book, mostly the multiple choice questions, okay? And then a book review. So we will read the book 1984, 就是1984, okay? And seminar notes is that I will require you to participate in in-person conference, seminar, speech, lecture, panel discussion, any kinds of the seminar, okay? Group presentation. I ask you to present one case study of a dictator or authoritarian regime. Oh, so all of the slides are already on the Trunk class, so you can download the slides, okay? And you only have 15 minutes, okay? Maximum 15 minutes. And you can do any kind of presentation using the slides or any kinds. And then you also have to prepare 1 or 2 questions for discussion, okay? And before the day, I mean, on Thursday, you have to upload the slides to the TA. You can use any kind of source, any kind of formats, any kind of materials, okay? And yeah, and we will have we will have to avoid the repeat of the same topic. So after we make the group, maybe later this class we can have a discussion about the groups, and then everyone must to negotiate on a different group on different topics. Okay, this is a group presentation. The group paper is that you turn your presentation into a paper, basically 2 to 3 page, not very long. Yeah, some details are here. So you can also see all of the details on the syllabus. Okay. By the way, I have uploaded a new version to correct some of the details. So there's a new version. We have the date is today, so February 21st. Yeah. Any questions so far? Okay. And then, so some elements of the group work is that you have to introduce a story of the dictator or story of the regime, and how this dictator begins the power, how it falls or consolidates the power. What is the tools? How he collaborate with different actors, different institutions. How the dictator used the different institutions to rule. Okay. The institutions include some coercive ones, violence, and also some collaborated one, like parties or Congress. 就是呢，我们这个就是要求大家做一个独裁者或者是独裁政权的报告，然后就是你去看说他是怎么样开始的，他是怎么样结束，他怎么样巩固他的这个权利，然后还有什么样的重要的行为者跟机构机制。Okay, yeah, please.
Do we have to follow this outline, or do we have to introduce a key question and use those elements in a detailed plan?
No, just up to you.
Okay.
This is just for inference.
Right.
Just a hint, so you don't have to follow this. So it's so basically I expect that all of the elements will be shown in the presentation, but not in a specific order. You can decide. Yeah. I like this picture very much. So what the group project are supposed to teach you: communication, responsibility, collaboration, teamwork. But actually, sometimes it turns out to be trust no one. So, so this very vividly illustrates sometimes the group work will turns very wrong. So, well, just try your best, okay? Just try your best. And if you have any difficulties, then just you can email me or TA. Yeah, okay. Another requirement is the weekly question. So this is individual assignment. So there's a question box every week in a Trunk class 讨论区, okay? And then you have to submit one question for the teacher by the end of Sunday. No, so this may be wrong. let me correct this later. So I think it's Wednesday. So minimum number of submission is 3. So you have to submit a question. It's better to relate it to the weekly theme, but not limited to that. Okay, so the question should be not Googleable. That is, if you can Google and get the answer, don't ask this question. This should be some puzzles you want to know. Puzzles about this class, about authoritarian regime, about, this topic, okay? So something you cannot understand by your own, okay? So I want you to practice how to raise a good question. Some questions that need to be discussed or need to be elaborated more. And maybe you expect that we can have some time to discuss in the class. Okay, I may not have time to respond to every question or take out the question to the class, but this is a practice of asking a good question. Okay, so individual question box. So you can, every week we will have a question box. So you only have to submit 3. So the minimum is 3. Okay. Final exam, closed book multiple choice questions. We'll have a true and false question, 就是是非题, and the multiple choice 就是选择题. Okay. When I firstly have this class, it surprised me that almost everyone, is doing very poor grade on the exam. So maybe we will have more discussion about how to prepare for this later. Okay. So basically, I expect you. Every questions will be from our book. So I will introduce the book or from the slides or of our class. I also plan to ask some of the question about 动物农庄, the animal farm. Well, that's a required reading. Okay. So we will have 25 or 33 questions for the exam. Okay. Book review. Well, the book review is on 1984. So I hesitate, I consider this a lot because in other places, other countries, maybe this one, everyone should read this one in your high school or not in the college level. But I still believe that this is a classic book. And everyone should know that, especially this is a course from Department of Political Science. Everyone should read this. So, and I think reading a novel should be more interesting than reading an academic book. Okay, so 1984. Okay, 1984. You only have to write 2 pages and due in the end of June, the first week of June. You can choose either English or Mandarin to write this. Okay, 你可以选择你要用中文或是英文回答。那 of course, if you the local student, if you use Mandarin, then I will have a higher standard for you. Okay. On the opposite, if the international student, if you use Mandarin, then you will have a higher grade. So it's the same. Okay, so local student, if you use English, then the standard will be lower and you will get a higher grade. But you can still use Mandarin. So if you use Mandarin for local student, then make sure that 就是要认真写，要更认真的写。Okay, we will have an AI policy here. Yeah. I know that most of people use AI very frequently nowadays. Okay. I can only encourage you not to depend too much on AI. So it can help you to polish writing. I do this. Okay, I use AI to polish my writing, and it can assist your works, but not finish your job. Okay, so you can use that to maybe correct your writing, correct your grammar mistakes, but the argument should be your own. Okay, so you cannot ask AI, oh, write a book review for me for 1984, that is not okay. But you can write an article, then just drop in AI and to maybe correct some of the mistake for you. That's fine, okay? And this is the honor system. That is, it's all by yourself. 就是说这是一个荣誉制啊，就是我只能跟你讲说，哎，这堂课叫你不要这样做，叫你不要做。然后，但是如果你这样做的话呢，这个好像也没有办法怎么样，哦，这是荣誉制。But notice that, well, a professor like me, a teacher like me, is that we always read too much on everything related to this. So if you use AI to write, then I can tell. Okay, so and also I think this is not a very good practice in this class because if you use AI to finish the job for you, then you cannot practice anything. That is 就是没有意义的. That is meaningless. Okay, so just don't waste your time. And also, I do believe that we have to learn how to use AI because AI is a very powerful tool for us, for all of us, because we, especially social science students, we rely heavily on our ability to write and to make an argument. But you have to practice by your own. Okay, you have to practice. If you are very good at writing and making an argument, then using AI will make you more powerful. But if you rely on AI, then you cannot tell whether AI is correct or not. 就是 AI 常常会一本正经跟你讲干话，然后你如果不知道到底这些东西是对还是错的话呢，那你就会被唬到。Okay, so AI policy is that it can help you, but don't rely on it to respond or to write for you. Okay. So seminar notes. You have to attend 2 seminars at least, and to write 1-page notes. So there's no format for that, but basically you have to write down the time, location, panelists, and the summary of the talk, and some thought about the topic. 1 page is very short, so this should be not a very difficult homework for you. So, but at least two, okay? Any kinds of seminar, just panel discussion, workshop, academic conference, book launch, think tank discussion. So let me do some advertisement here. I will join a seminar on authoritarian regime in China on March 6th, okay? Taiwan think tank. So if you are interested in, 就是我来一个工商服务时间。Whoa, the wording is very strong. So it thinks that it writes Xi Jinping's totalitarian regime, the totalitarian mode, okay, and his thoughts. So this will take place in March 6th at 交通部集思会议中心 the 交通部的英文怎么样 Department of Communication? Well, so just check out the website of Taiwan 智库 okay, and yeah, 交通部的英文是 Ministry of Transportation and Communication, okay, the center of the ministry. So it will take place in March 6th. This is only one of the example. I believe that you can find out a lot of seminars. So for example, I just mentioned in the beginning that we have a 周三青年日. So every Wednesday we have a seminar. So you can easily find out a topic that is related to democracy, authoritarian regime, democratization, China, and human rights issues. Very broadly defined. For English seminars, I also believe that there must be many. Okay. Yeah, seminar notes. So far, do you have any questions? Okay, and there are some extra points. So for example, I write on the syllabus. Please read the syllabus. So if you submit more, then you can have extra points for this. Okay, for the seminar notes, also for the book review. If you want to write more book review, then it's welcome, highly welcomed. Okay, extra one. So because you only have to 1 or 2 page of the book review, then extra one will get you 6% of the grade. Should be very easy, I think. Yeah. So principles of the course is that all deadlines are firm. Okay. So if you are late, then I have some regulations about that. So just read the syllabus. On the class, you please do not influence others, like making noises or sometimes eat some very food. Okay, something like that. Okay, I will have some class quiz just for record of the participation in the class. Okay, but it's only in class. So I basically will give you the QR code. So please prepare for a cell phone for the QR code. Okay, and to answer the class quiz, and also maybe the most important part is read the readings. Please read the readings. So you have to force yourself to read. That is maybe you can learn more about English, the language, and also authoritarian politics. Schedule. So this week is an overview of the class, and then next week there's a holiday, the Peace Memorial Day. And then we begin in week 3 from the conceptualizing the basic conception of democracy and authoritarian regime. And then regime transition, different types of regime, personal regime, and basically it's authoritarian survival, the strategy of ruling. And then spring break, no class, and then we have the party. The political parties in authoritarian regime and the power sharing. And then on week 9, we plan to visit the Strait Exchange Foundation, 海基会. So we will meet directly there, 海基会. I will ask them if they can deliver the speech in English. But if they don't, then I will require you making groups. And the local student, please translate. Okay, translate the speech and the panel to an international student. So it's also a good strategy, good chance for you to speak more in English. So the 海基会, it is in 捷运大直站. Okay, 捷运大直站. 大直, oh yes, on the Brown line. And military regime and coup. A military coup, competitive authoritarian regime. That is some regimes that in the middle, okay, in the middle, and China authoritarian diffusion. So that is the plan. So the plan is that. So I also plan to have a book show, 就是书展, in these weeks. So basically, I will ask the 卫城出版社 to present their books on authoritarian politics. So maybe here. One of the class here will be specific for discussion. So the whole class is to discuss about the book. Okay, 就是说在这边会有一堂课是专门整堂课都在讨论书。So I will assign a book and then give you some of the questions. Yeah. Another holiday here, Dragon Ball Festival. And a final exam here. And in the week 17, we will have a movie week, V for Vendetta, or V 怪客. Okay. So this is also the week that I will bring some food for you, just to finish the semester. We don't have a class in week 18. Okay. Yeah. Any questions about this? Yeah.
Should we make up a group with both Taiwanese student and foreign student? Or
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I will ask you that each group will have both international student and a local student. Okay. Do you want to take a rest, or I just finish this maybe in 10 or 15 minutes? Okay, because this is the first week. Okay. So let me finish off this. Some tips here. For me, my style is that all of the slides are the outline for the speaker. That is me. So do not depend too much on the slides. So the slides may be just very simple. This is the outline for me, not for you. Okay, so you can use these slides as your note or just for reference, but you have to read on the book. Okay, so remember this: the slides are the outlines for me, the speaker, not for you. Okay, try to think in English. For local students, try to think in English. Do not translate. Okay, you have to, because we don't have the environment to use English. So I really encourage you to think in English, avoid translate. I know this is difficult, but this is the purpose. I mean, this class, the purpose is to force you to think in English. Okay, try not to translate. Try not to that. Do not worry about English proficiency, just speak out. Okay, okay. Do not worry. Don't worry that you make many mistakes or you don't know how to speak. That's fine. That's totally fine. So already you can see I make a lot of grammar mistakes as well, but that's fine, right? 你们会不会觉得说，啊，这都你自己在讲，你好像真的到时候说不出来的时候，你就会觉得很不好意思。但是千万不要，就是你就是多讲就对了。好 ，and some tips here, the structure of arguments. So for international students, I think you have already learned about this. But for local students, I have to tell you that the structure of English, of the writing, is very different from what we learn in the school. I mean, in Mandarin, we always learn the so-called 起承转合, something like that. But in English writing or academic writing, especially academic writing, it always goes directly in the beginning. So in the beginning, you will see in each paragraph, you will see the topic sentence. That is the main argument of that topic, of that paragraph. And also for the whole article, the first paragraph is always the most important one, the introduction one. 就是这个结构呢，是适用在同一个文章，也适用在同一个段落。在每一个段落的开头呢，就会是 topic sentence. Okay, and then following the topic sentence, the body. That the body is to explain your argument. Okay, 就是你们在看文章的时候，其实就是要去看说每一段的主旨是什么，然后每一段的主旨接下来一定是去解释这个主旨，解释这个 argument， 好 ，elaborate， 好 ，OK， 然后每一段一定会有一个 conclusion， 就是结论句。如果你知道这个结构的话，你在阅读的时候就会比较快。它的主旨是什么？它怎么解释这个主旨？然后还有就是说，这整段在讲什么 ？Okay, so that applies to a paragraph, also an article, also a book. Okay, so if you understand this the structure, then it will make it easier for you to read. Okay, but it's different for a novel, so do not expect a novel to use this. But I think this is an argument or academic writing. Okay, so let me introduce some of the books we will read. This is the main book, Authoritarianism, What Everyone Needs to Know. This is the main book, okay? I already prepared for the files. Just be low key, please. I have I put them in a folder. This is the link is on Truncast. 这个是小写。How to say 小写 in English? Capital and this is capital and this is
Lowercase?
what?
Lowercase?
Lowercase. So this is lowercase and this is capital. Okay, yeah, thanks. You can see that a lot of vocabularies I don't know. 这个是小写，这个是大写，这个是小写。Lowercase, lowercase, and the capital. 19, capital L. URL.cc. Okay, so I put all of the files there. Well, you know there's a pirate website. Please do not use that. Okay, that is from Russian. That is called LiveGen. Okay, do not use that. So you can Google that, and because they will change their websites all the time to avoid crackdown, legal crackdown. Do not use that. Okay, do not use that. 当我没说。Everyone is fine with this. This is also on Tron class. So this one is the main book. So we will see Friends, Erica Friends. She is on my committee, so she's my one of my advisors. So Friends, this book, this is the main book. So you can also read the syllabus. Okay, most of week we will assign one chapter from this book, the main book. This is an academic book. Some of the chapters I assigned to you. I like this book very much. So this book, I also like this book very much. I have the English version on the folder, and because this is a small book, very easy to read. Okay, so maybe we will have 1 week discussion session for this book, and Applebaum. These two books, I'm still planning how to use this. Maybe we will focus one, because this one should be very easy to read, not very long. This one is a brick, very 厚，就是很厚, a thick book. But they basically have some similar points. That is, the Chinese authoritarian regime has a very long history, So now we have 2 weeks before our next meeting. So maybe you can use this time. Maybe you can start with the podcast. Okay, the podcast. So if you Google Xu Chenggang, well, most of his speech is in Mandarin. So for a local student, you can just learn very quickly from about this book. So I really encourage you to listen to that or read that. They have script for that for the podcast. And this book, you can Google some of the book review on 菜市场政治学. So it basically summarize how and why China is still an authoritarian regime, and it's impossible for them to democratize, and their thought about the international order. So Professor Wang Feiling has 3 books on China, and this is the second book, and I think it's basically summarize the historical and their their mindset about the rule. Okay. So, 2 classic books from George Orwell, 动物农庄 and 1984. There are many different versions of these books. I got some books here. Oh, by the way, I emailed you several days ago because there's an extra 10% off, but not enough people register, so I failed to book that. Maybe if you need the book, I have some here, and yeah. maybe we can take a notes and to wait for next extra 10 off. That will be on book 就是在27、28号的时候。So every week, every month there will be 2 or 3 times of extra 10% off. OK， 好，就是这2本书。So this book is also very easy to read. I read that I read it again this winter vacation, and I only spend about 1 hour, so very easy to read. And 1984 a little bit longer, but still also a classic one. In the year 1949, he illustrates authoritarian regime that basically have very predicts of the political developments nowadays. 就是他在1949年的时候就已经写出了这样的小说，然后完完全全的预言了现在当今世界的发展。OK， 好。So useful resource, I will upload the file. That is how I got my news, the resource of my podcast and others on Tron class. And also please read what is plagiarism, because this is very basic for everyone. Any questions? No? So I think we should maybe make a group right now. Or next time? because the registration is not finalized yet. So maybe next time. But because we will have 2-week gap, so please read your email. I will contact you by email. Okay. So make sure that you have a working email that can receive the system email from notification from Tron class. Okay. And also, yeah, 有没有人要加签 ？Want to sign for this class? Oh, okay, okay, 好 okay. So we will have different groups, and I will separate international students to all of the groups. Is that okay? Yeah, okay. 1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9。Okay. Yeah. Any questions? Okay, so if you want to the book, I have a 4 English version of 1984 here. I think it's about 275 NT dollars. And this one is Mandarin version. I think it's 2 and 5. Do you want to introduce yourself? 都可以啊。And also we have Tia here, and please introduce yourself. 都可以，都可以。
大家好，我是正3A 的王柔金，然后我是这堂课的 TA。那如果你们有事情的话，就可以在 Series 上面的 email 寄给我，因为我可能之后只有重要的时候才会出现在这里。对，好。
So she's Wang Roujin, the TA of this class, and you can see the syllabus. There's an email of her.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So it is today. It is for today. So we will see you in 2 weeks. So just make use of your time. OK， 就是你可以利用这2个礼拜好好把书先看一看。哦，比如说这个其实一下就会看完了，这样你可以在一开始就把这个作业都写掉。嘿，啊？我不知道啊，我要看 final 那个最后的几个人选。对啊。你会想要自己分吗？哦 ，OK。但是我可能 OK。So for the group presentation, for the group, hello， 就是那个分组有人想要自己分的吗 ？Do you want to randomly assign to different groups, or do you want to make groups by yourself? because I don't know how many people are there in a group because I have to wait for the final of the registration list. So I will email you because we have 2 weeks gap. I will email you 就是你们可以先分。So for example, I will email you that okay, you can make a group of 3 or 4. 就是你们可以，比如说我会告诉你们最低该有几个人。那比如说你们可以3个人3一组，或者4个人4个人一组这样子。然后最后可能再看几个人这样子。Okay. So I will tell you how many people can you make a group. But international student you will be separated into different groups. It's okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.可以啊，可以。如果你有带零钱的话，
我有。
275。我确定一下，我记得是275。I only have 4, but if you need more, I can book maybe next time.
Okay. Next time, okay, perfect.
Yeah. 等一下，那我看一下有没有。你看一下我那个。
How you doing? Still we're reading 1984. Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, that's cool. I do like a physical book though. Sometimes I feel like I can't comprehend things when it's digital. You like it's a little more relaxed.
Yeah, here for it.
Oh, 谢谢。好，谢谢。
没有，我想因为他们是一定要个体多少，可是我还不确定说现在到底是谁，所以我可能会在对啊，那就会比较麻烦。I'm not sure. But what kind of topics are you looking for? I can ask them because I'm going to the Taiwan conference this afternoon. Are you planning to have a internship for some time?
Like any academic opportunities linked to think tanks.
Okay. Okay, I can. So just do your best so that I can.
Okay.
其实我们会下个礼拜选这个 group。
对，因为但是下礼拜没有课，所以大概就是会2个礼拜后才分组，那第4个礼拜才会开始报告。
OK， 我们现在还有时间。OK， 好，谢谢。
因为我就看到中文。
你要看英文的，那个很容易，非常简单。好，我可以一起开啊。对啊，因为他就是要凑到一定的那个，所以我才一次买了。对啊。
因为你看，大概一季会被分到几个班费？
至少1个啊。